Magnus Carlsen, loses to an amateur. Pawn to e4, pawn to e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to b5, knight g to e7, the Qe defense, pawn to c3, pawn to a6, bishop to a4, pawn to h6, an innocuous move, pawn to d4, e takes d4, c takes d4, knight to g6. This is already a mistake. Something like d5 should have been played, knight to c3, bishop to b4, white castles kingside, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, black castles kingside, bishop to c2, pawn to d6, pawn to d5, knight c to e5, knight to d4, queen to e7, black's pieces are all awkwardly placed now, pawn to f4, bishop to g4, queen to e1, knight to d7, white is already close to winning, pawn to f5, directly playing h3 trapping the bishop was even better, knight g to e5, pawn to h3, bishop to h5, pawn to g4, bishop takes g4, h takes g4, knight takes g4, white is up a piece but his king is slightly weak now, pawn to f6, this move is unnecessary. A simple move like queen g3 would have sufficed, queen to e5, black is threatening mate, bishop to f4, white has thrown away quite a bit of his advantage, queen to h4 was better, queen to h5, this looks threatening but is simply another mistake, black should have played queen takes f6, f takes g7, white is much better again, rook f to e8, queen to g3, knight d to f6, knight to f5, this is a really bad move by Carlsen, throwing away all his advantage, the simple rook a to e1 was better, knight takes e4, queen takes g4, a horrible blunder by the world champion, he was counting on knight takes h6 after queen takes g4 but forgot that it would be a check, he had already touched the knight when he realized this, Carlsen immediately resigned after playing this move. Of course, Magnus played with only 30 seconds on his clock but still a terrible loss. Thank you, please like, share and subscribe. Also comment in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day.